What's going on, guys? This is Snoop 603 from Shustybang, and welcome to the 6th episode of my Battlefield 4 weapon reviews. In today's video, I'm going back to the Assault class to look over the Famas. This gun is available for the Assault class only, and it is unlocked after earning 37,000 points with Assault rifles. To go over a little bit of weapon info, the country of origin for the Famas is France. It can be used in all three possible firing modes at either fully automatic, burst, or semi-auto. The rate of fire on the Famas is an amazingly high 1,000 rounds per minute, and it fires the 5.56 by 45mm NATO rounds. The ammo capacity is 25 rounds plus one in the chamber. The reload times are much higher than average at 2.8 seconds with at least one bullet chambered, and 3.5 seconds if you run the magazine completely dry. And the damage is 25 hit points of damage per bullet out to 8 meters, with a drop off down to a minimum of 18 hit points of damage per bullet out to 55 meters. The Famas has a higher than average recoil across the board, with a left and vertical recoil of 0.4 degrees, but with a higher tendency to pull right with a recoil of 0.6 degrees. The Famas makes its triumphant return from Battlefield 3, where it was thought of with anything other than kindness, to Battlefield 4, where it seems to have fallen into the category of underused and underappreciated pile of weapons. Whether this is due to the negative stigma it had in Battlefield 3 of where at first it was thought of as an OP weapon only noobs used, or that it turned into a basically useless and horrifically underpowered weapon, I cannot say. I'd be willing to bet that either one or both of those reasons do play their part in the Famas being so underused, but regardless, if you haven't taken the time to use this weapon, I strongly recommend that you do. The real strength of the Famas really lies in its fire rate. Coming in at a staggering 1,000 rounds per minute, it is tied with only the CZ-3A1 as having the highest rate of fire in Battlefield 4. The difference between the two is that the Famas has a bullet velocity of 630 meters per second, almost twice that of the CZ, which only has a bullet velocity of 370 meters per second. That's a lot of killing power going on at a very short amount of time, and that's what I really noticed and loved about the Famas. This thing just drops people in no time at all when your aim is so good and you've got the jump on them. That said, the Famas does have two unavoidable downsides to it, and that is the lower than average magazine capacity and the higher than average reload times. Combine the low mag capacity with the fast rate of fire, throw in that high reload time, and what you get is a lot of standing around, which unfortunately is another thing I noticed about the Famas. I felt like I was spending more time reloading the damn thing than I was killing people. Part of me wants to say it's not a big deal because I can drop 2 to 3 people easily with the Famas before I empty the mag, but the other party remembers all of the times I died while in the middle of a reload, and that was far too often. Now, given the high rate of fire, there's a few obvious things about the Famas, but there's also some things I found surprising about it. Obviously, thanks to that high rate of fire, the Famas is a beast in the close to mid-range. Surprisingly, given the high recoil pattern, it's actually not that bad in the mid to long range. It's not the greatest by any means, but I did find the Famas capable of taking down enemies in the long range if I really took my time and utilized short, controlled burst fire. It's not going to wow you, but if the need arises, you don't need to back down from the challenge like some other guns would require you to. Also, I was kind of surprised when I didn't find the high recoil to be overly high. I mean, the stats are there and they say it's high, but I guess I expected this thing to climb straight up as if I shot a 50 cal rifle. I assume that since it has high horizontal and vertical stats, that the vertical recoil doesn't stand out so much since the gun can and will jump fairly hard in any and all directions. With the right setup though for your preferred role and with a little practice, I think you will get used to the recoil in short time and it will not be a big factor for you. My preferred setup for the Famas is the holographic sight, any suppressor, any laser sight, and the Euro grip. The setup is insanely good for two reasons. One, the suppressor keeps me off the radar and I can do an insane amount of damage to the other team when working crazy long flanks and sticking to the outsides. And two, it really helps to lessen the hipfire penalties, making it that much deadlier in the run and gun role. I don't even need to aim down sights with this setup inside of about 10 meters. I can just run around like a madman and hip fire almost exclusively, and I still take down enemies in a very short amount of time. Honestly, I love this gun for team deathmatch, domination, and some rush maps. Anywhere that I know I can run around non-stop, work crazy flanks, and just get a ton of kills. In those situations, this is now my go-to gun for the Assault class. While working on the review for this, I went on several 9 to 10 kill streaks before running out of ammo, and then starting all over again after I died. Running and gunning is my favorite way to play, and this gun really caters to that playstyle. I'm going to give the Famas a 4 out of 5. I docked at 1 point because while it is a beast in the close to mid-range and the fire rate is so damn good, the reload time is this gun's Achilles heel. At almost 3 seconds, even with at least one bullet still chambered, that's an absurd amount of time to be stuck reloading when using a gun that excels in the short range, close quarter combat area. In those tight quarters, you will undoubtedly get caught reloading many times while using Famas. It's just unavoidable. But during the stretches that you don't get caught, this gun is still well worth the time. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up today's weapon review. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank Symthic.com for supplying the information on these weapons. And if you're ever interested in knowing the stats of any weapons in Battlefield 4, I encourage you to head to their website and check them out. You can find a link to their site in the video description below. Last but not least, please like and share the video if you enjoyed it. It always means a lot to me to see the video do well in the ratings, and you guys have not been letting me down recently. Thank you everyone, I'll see you guys in the next video.